Hello, Internet. How are you? Nice to have you back on our regular stream of by the World of Arts. That's a regular show that I have with today with Trim in English and with my best friend Florian in French. And today it's with the
Hello,
Norwegian.
Internet. How are you?
Forgot to have the
Nice
thing
to
muted.
have you.
Sorry.
And glorious.
So, how are you, Trim?
I'm doing pretty well. Just got off the boat, been incredibly hungover for a day, and now I'm better.
The boaty boat. Because Trim
Yes.
works on a boat.
Yes,
And that's
it's
true.
glorious.
That's not a crazy story. That's actually his job. I will let him say more if he wants to. But before we start, I will remind you, please, people, if you want to support my work, go to the Kickstarter page and click on Notify here. So this is my project for the art book that I'm doing at the end of December. So it starts the 15th of December, and this is a bestiary of all the monsters that are in my books, my universe, and my dark fantasy world that I've created since 2011. So quite a time ago. So with the shield out of the way, do you want to talk a bit about Game of Thrones and the last show they did with House of the Dragon, Trim?
I haven't really seen much of it because I'm planning to watch it with one of my best friends in my old hometown. But I've heard that comparative to a certain other show, it's like comparing gold to diarrhea.
More or less, yes. So this is the last the number of the last episode of the first season of House of the Dragon. It did pretty well, to be honest. Not as strong as the like fourth or fifth season of Game of Thrones, because that was the peak and the height of Game of Thrones when everyone talked about it every single day, everywhere. But yeah, it's okay. It's nice. The show is. It do some things, so to say. So it's interesting, and I've
I
watched
mean, it's good
five.
it does a thing. It's
Yeah,
good that it does a thing.
yes, it does its own thing of Game of Thrones, which is politics, intrigue, and with a bit of crazy flying lizards. So yeah, that's nice, and yeah, I've watched 5 or 6 episodes. It was serviceable. Not my shtick because I'm tired of the story writing and storytelling of George R. R. Martin. But yeah, it was okay. And when I watched the first 2 episodes of Rings of Power from Amazon, and I got back to this thing, I was like, oh my god, what's happening? A story? An universe?
Quality
Yeah. So
in my streaming service?
things happen with dragons and shit. Oh my god.
Oh Lord. Well, I haven't the biggest love of George R. R. Martin. Well, I'm a bit more happy about the guy since Elden Ring came out. His parts of it is good. But anyway, I view him as the edgy boy who has this weird you're not my real dad moment to Tolkien and is hell bent on
Yeah.
beating Tolkien in his own game, but unfortunately focusing too much on something that really doesn't matter, like the constant either sex scenes or the out of the blue murder scenes. Like, hey, now you're dead. Oh, okay.
Well, there is not much sex in this TV show, to be honest, compared to Game of Thrones, when every 10 minutes someone is banging another person. So yeah, really, like, I think there is complete episode without a sex scene. Oh my god.
Huh.
Yes. And to get back to the number, because that's what I wanted to talk about. It's the thing with Game of Thrones is that the viewer count went up with each episode. And this is something interesting because with the famous Lord of the Rings, this is the opposite.
The famous Lord of the Rings.
Yes, and I will put up another article. So this is the final number and rating and yada yada yada. And we cannot trust the rating because of Amazon and the meddling with score and stuff like that. So the most viewed TV show these days is Cobra Kai. I'm honestly not surprised because Cobra Kai is very, very, very good.
What is
Very
Cobra
good.
Kai?
You don't know?
No.
It's the TV show with the follow-up story of Karate Kid movie from the 80s.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait. Oh,
very nice TV show. I'm quite in love with them. I did a review on my channel, but it's in French. But the resume of the of my video is Cobra Kai is good. Go watch it.
okay. Well, I mean, you did suggest The Terminalist, and that shit fucking
Yes,
rocked.
yes. The Terminus is very very nice, and
To everyone who hasn't watched Terminalist yet, go watch it. I've never been scared of Chris Pratt in my life, but he actually managed to
yes.
terrify me.
And the funny things on this number I have up on the screen right now is do you see my screen share trim?
Yes, I do.
So you see first place Cobra Kai, second place Lord of the Rings Amazon, third place House of the Dragon, and here, like in seventh place, Game of Thrones, the original show.
Huh. Still pretty high up.
Well. Apparently, this is yeah, Game of Thrones is back, and everyone is watching the old show to have the new show now. And if you add the two numbers, well, I understand that for Lord of the Rings Amazon Defense, they only have this show and a few episodes. So yeah, we have to take that into account. But still, it's quite impressive that the old show of like 10 years ago is yeah, it's strong as ever.
Yeah, I mean, Game of Thrones was good until the final seasons, and I'm gonna be honest, I actually like the second to last season, even though it's popular to hate on that one. I kind of enjoyed that one too.
Well, I dropped the watch of Game of Thrones, the original TV show after the Red Wedding. I was like, I'm done. I'm tired of following a story and a character for him to be butchered like a few episodes in the future. I was a bit tired by that, but it's not the show is bad or anything. It's just it's really not for me. It's really not for me.
Yeah. Then you definitely shouldn't watch Cyberpunk, I hear.
And one other piece of information I wanted to share with you is that with the final episode of both House of the Dragon and Lord of the Rings Amazon show, Lord of the Rings show is not the first show in the Amazon Prime anymore. Like they've been dethroned. So
Oh,
for the number 10, most of the show here I don't know about them. Number 10 is a show called Ambulance. Don't know about it. 9, Wheel of Time. This I know.
wait,
8,
Wheel of Time has a series?
yes.
Well, the book was
It's
mediocre.
it's not apparently it's not that great. Not bad, but not great.
I mean, it's from the same company that made Rings of Power,
Hmm.
you know.
Number 8 is a show I'm sure I will never check out. Is a thing with ladies. 4 more shots, please. Well, okay. Number
Too much
7,
clothes for me to care. What?
number 7 called Memory with, if I'm not mistaken, what's his name again?
I
Name.
I like to call him Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah, Qui-Gon Jinn. and Ra's al Ghul. Number six, The Boys. I quite like this show. I hope it will still be good in the future because there
Mean
were,
boys doing crimes.
yeah, there was some hint that the show was going a bit on the woke side, but it's still enjoyable. It was very much enjoyable. Number five,
It
The
seems,
Terminal
I'm gonna be
List.
honest about the boys, though. I'm gonna be honest about the boys. It seems like the show The Boys is made by
Liam Neeson.
someone who, yeah, they're Liam Neeson is it?
Yeah.
The Boys seems to be made by someone who has a political opinion, but they don't want to be part of it. So they're just like, okay, we have to do this, but we're not focusing on it, even though it has to be there.
The
It feels
thing
like the
is,
whatever wokery is in The Boys is there because Amazon demands it.
the thing is with The Boys, the TV show, is they take shot at both sides of the political aisle, so that's nice.
Yes.
But they are not entirely faithful to the source material.
The source material of The Boys is, and I will always hold this opinion, pure and utter shite. It is peak edgy boy. It is nothing more but a hack trying to be, oh, I'm going to show you by being how bad they are. Yes, now we're making this a pedophile, we're making this a rapist, also this is a rapist. Oh, hey, and this guy is also a rapist.
You've
It's
read the
basically redo Healer in America.
you've read the comics?
Yeah, read them and hated them.
Okay. Well, to be honest, I didn't read them, but I thought that some things they tackle on the original comics would have been very much more interesting in the TV show if they've done it like it is in the comics. For example, for Black
I'm
Noir.
gonna say something that I never will say ever again in my life, but gender bending Stormfront and making Stormfront into that character she is in the series, in the show, is so much better than that haha Superman Nazi guy who was in the comic. He wasn't even one dimensional.
There is a question, maybe you can answer it. It's from Alden to say, wasn't it Robert Kirkman who wrote The Boys, or am I thinking of Invincible or The Walking Dead?
I think it was wrong. I'm not certain. I'm gonna check.
Yeah, go check, please. But yeah, and in any way, The Boys in number six in Amazon record and sales and view and everything. Number five is The Terminal List, which is a show that I heavily encourage. It's very, very good, and I think they will do a second season since how the first one ended, and yeah, it's very, very good, very, very good. Number fourth is the movie Northman, which is also very good, and I also heavily recommend. Number
Here. This is the guy behind it. It's Garth Ennis and Derek Robertson.
Yeah, Garth Ennis. I quite like the Garth Ennis. He wrote many Hellblazer stories, like John Constantine.
Yeah, but he's a guy who is notorious for just hating superheroes, and again, he gives me that same vibe as reading George R. R. Martin compared to Tolkien. It's I don't like this. I'm gonna try and do it better.
Mm. Well, for Hellblazer and Constantine, I have not spot that thing, but yeah. In any way, number three is Reacher, and I've heard a bit about this show. Apparently, it's not bad, but yeah, didn't watch it. Number two, Amazon, Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. So it's not number one anymore. And number one is called The Peripheral, which I don't know what the fuck it is.
Got no idea either.
So the thing we can gather from this chart is that, yeah, Amazon, Lord of the Rings, 1 billion funding project is not even number one anymore. And a funny thing I have to say to you is, most of you know I'm a writer, and my printer is Amazon. So when I order my own books, I take them from Amazon. It's shipped to my place and yada yada. When I received the box with my books, the tape to close the cardboard box, there is like Amazon Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power stuff on the tape, the duct tape. So
Trash, I hear.
they are very high on promoting their thing, and yeah, it's impressive that it's already down on the ratings, and it's not that far off in the past. It's the 22nd of October.
I'm just happy that it just gets what it deserves because what they did with they've done the same thing with Rings of Powers. They've done with so many other series. However, the difference here is that too many people love Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
And when you start pissing on what people love, they will start reacting. And with the amount of people who just love it, getting that reaction is just it's common sense that it would happen. But hey, wokies don't really think much.
Yeah, but still, it's kind of it's both funny and how to say that enjoyable to see the downfall of this TV show, this piece of shit. But at the
Hey,
same
that's the
time,
only thing that is enjoyable to
yeah,
watch.
but at the same time, it's also sad because it's sad to see Tolkien legacy being dragged in the mud like that. The guy doesn't deserve that.
Nah, but it would have happened sooner or later. This was inevitable.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it, and I'm just happy that it has gotten the blowback that it has gotten.
Yeah, me
That
too.
was the thing that scared me is will people react or will
But
they just be passive and watch again?
there are still people who are passive, like you say. I remember not so long ago, I was at a book convention, well, more like nerd convention, but still. And so I was pitching my stuff and I explained, well, I have a YouTube channel, blah, 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 blah. And one of the last video I made was about the TV show from Amazon, Lord of the Rings. And one person said, oh, I haven't watched this one, but the trailer looked nice. And I said, well, if you want to look at pretty picture, yes. But if you want an actual story from Lord of the Rings, no. And the person I was talking to laughed a bit, but the person behind this person was hearing what I said. They say, well, you just have to take it like a fan fiction or a side story or parallel universe. So there are still people who view that as something. It's not important if the show is bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
So yeah,
But
it's sad.
that excuse doesn't even work for me, and I used that excuse plenty of times.
Yeah, and the thing is, the more I grow old, the more I think it's important to respect the law and respect, the source material and being faithful to what you're trying to adapt. It's okay with changing things, and in my video about Lord of the Rings from Amazon, I took the example of the Constantine movie with Ken Reeves. And it's a movie I love. I really, really love. And it's not faithful to John Constantine's story. Like Gabriel is a girl. John Constantine is not Irish. He has not blonde hair. And there is multiple liberty took from the source material to make that movie, but it was still enjoyable. It was still something nice to watch. So it's okay. You can take adaptation and take some liberty when you're trying to adapt something in another media from a book to a movie.
Yeah, and I like the Constantine movie too. It was my first interaction with anything about Constantine.
Me too.
And I kind of liked it. Like the way it used the demons and all that.
Yes.
But I don't know. You should be free to make your own things when you make an adaptation. I learned this relatively early in my life that you will never get a perfect adaptation from a book to a series or cartoon
It's
or
very
anything like
hard.
that.
Very, very hard. There is one.
It's outright impossible.
I beg to differ. There is one that is for me a perfect adaptation. It's the first movie Sin City. It's almost picture per picture the comic book itself.
Yeah, but that's because the people there make a genuine hard effort for it, and
Yes,
that's not
yes. I think
no creator is willing to go that far.
I think it's one of a kind, and maybe the only time we will have that.
Yeah. Though there's one thing. This is how I view the Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, Rang of Power, how you want to say it. I like the way Art says it. uh, it is imagine that they got the chicken that lays the golden egg, right? Now they
Yes.
take this chicken, they butcher the chicken, they botch the butchering of the chicken, they make chicken soup of the chicken, but again, they botched that process too. So now you have a pot that is just salmonella and eggs.
Yeah, I see what you did there. And Alden Patty is chatting furiously, like chatting intensifies. And I know that Alden very much loved the first Deadpool movie, and if you are a fan of Deadpool, yeah, the first movie was very nice.
I love it.
I'm not an expert of this particular character, so I'm not you know eligible to have an educated opinion on the matter. But yeah, the first movie was very nice. It
Oh,
was like Ryan Reynolds was born to play that role.
yeah. Oh boy. I mean, he really wanted to be Deadpool too, that he actually accepted playing
Yeah,
bootleg Deadpool from X-Men Origins. Now, I like X-Men Origins. Sorry to break it to you guys, but Deadpool there was pretty good though.
yeah, yeah. I like the bit on the story of this movie. You know, with Wolverine and Sabretooth, with the girl who is I would say that pretending to be in love with Logan, but at the end she is actually in love with Logan, and it was a nice thing that I quite enjoy in the movie. That part of the intrigue.
And also the soundtrack of the movie. And I don't mind the CGI claws that much. They don't stick out too much for me.
Mm.
I genuinely have a good time when I watch
Well,
X-Men Origins.
almost all X-Men movie was okay for me. There's a few that I dislike a bit more, but more or less all of them was okay to me. X-Men was a nice franchise. Not
Yeah.
grandiose and perfect, but very much enjoyable.
Yeah.
So, with that out of the way, we are going to speak about one of your topic. So what do you want, Trim? Video game, the storytelling, the strong franchise, or an old movie that had an adaptation not so long ago? Which one you will talk about?
I'll let you do the choice. I can basically jump from one thing to another. I'm a ranting machine.
I will take the topic that we haven't had the opportunity to tackle the last time. So, if I'm not mistaken, my dear Trim, you are quite a fan of a franchise named Dark Crystal.
Yes,
So,
I
can
am.
apparently they had a TV show not so long ago. Well, the article is quite old. It's 13th of February, but still, it's okay. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, the TV show was not continue, something like that.
Yeah, it was canceled. And another thing is that during this time, it was the time when Netflix had the pedo bait show known as Cuties,
Oh, okay.
which made me very angry. The thing is, Dark Crystal isn't perfect, but dear God, it's an artistic expression. I love it because it's a passion project unlike any other. And the puppetry here, what they do with the show, is just extremely enjoyable for me to watch. Now, I haven't really that deep into the lore of the Dark Crystal, but from what I could see, it fits pretty well with the movie too, which I really enjoyed. Well, after I stopped having nightmares about it.
Yeah, yeah, because if you actually look into the lore of that crystal, it's pretty grim.
Oh, it's fucking dark, but I love it.
And for me, I have watched the very old movie, but I've not watched even 1 second of the TV show.
Yeah.
I don't
What
even
I
know
really
what.
like. Oh, sorry.
No, no, go
You
ahead.
first. You first.
I was gonna say that I don't even know what the TV show is talking about.
Well, it's basically what happens before the movie.
Ah, okay.
The movie, it's at the end of the rule of the Skeksis, right? All the Gelflings have been
So for people
eradicated.
who don't know, the Skeksis is the creepy monster on the screen right now.
Yes, that's Skektek, Skeksil, yes. The Emperor, the scientist, and the Chamberlain. But yeah, the thing I really enjoy about this is how they spend so much time going in depth with the Skeksis. Because every Skeksis is evil. It is their nature. They are the darker half of a complete creature.
Yeah.
And still, they are greedy, selfish, and, genuinely evil, but they are relatable. Now, Skekso is the most cruel motherfucker out there because he has zero honor, though he likes to pretend that he does. And, uh, well, Bleach, you can say the RDWEF, but at least Skekso has standards.
I don't even know what's this WEF.
Don't go down that rabbit hole. It's pain in the ass.
Okay.
I can tell you about it later. This is no thank you. Anyway.
Yeah, you are
uh,
more black pill than me, so you know
oh yeah,
some words and
immensely.
expression that my pure mind and doesn't know about.
You poor pure summer child.
Yes.
But yeah, what I was about to say though is Skekso, while being one of the most conniving and cruel characters in the show, is he's given screen time and moments where you can actually get a insight into Skekso. And one
So
thing I really enjoy
just
is
a
that
second.
every Skek. Oh, sorry.
No, 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 it's okay. But just a second. To for people who didn't watch the show and everything. So the story is more spend more time looking into the action of the Skeksis.
Yes, the
Okay,
Skeksis,
because in the
the
movie,
response of the.
in
Yeah.
the movie, we don't see that much of them. We see enough to know that they are very bad, but that's it.
Yep. The thing about the what I enjoy about Age of Resistance is that it deepens what happened before the Dark Crystal movie, because in the Dark Crystal everything has happened, I guess, a generation after the TV series, I guess. And the Gelfling were eradicated during the Gartham Wars, which they started actually at the end of the first season. And sorry, I read chat and I'm trying not to lose train of thought. There's so much to remember.
No, no worries. I'm
Yeah,
trying to entertain chat while you tell the story.
sorry. Uh, because the Skeksis have their own hierarchy to deal with. They're constantly doing infighting, always trying to show one another up and to please the Emperor. The Gelfling are believing that the Skeksis are lords and protectors of the crystal. Well, they're actually just fucking parasites draining everything. And the series takes care of this of the era where the Gelfling finds out about the Skeksis'
So
cruelty.
the Gelfling is the little fairy
They're the
replica.
elf-looking people.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically the main
So
species living on Tra.
they were betrayed by the Skeksis, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah, put
Okay.
under a veil, lied to, and just used. Well, the Skeksis lived and were like, "Oh, we're the Lords of Crystal, we're the protectors, and we love you, we swear."
Yeah, that's one of the things I found very fascinating about the character of the Skeksis is that they are creepy motherfucker and
Yeah,
conniving and sneaky. They have no, there is no, I would say that there is no bottom for them. They can go always lower.
Exactly, because the Skeksis are in the end only looking out for themselves.
Yeah.
And but I do
They
like
have
it
no
that
problem backstabbing even their friends and their brothers and everything.
because they don't have any. They are decadence and everything that is negative about the higher classes.
Yeah.
Let's just say it like that. And every single one of them is incredibly afraid of death. Yeah, you did it. Congratulations, Bleach. Really, motherfucker. Anyway, but every Skeksis is afraid of death, and you get a really good insight to that every time the Emperor or Skekso gets a moment to talk with whomever is his confidant, or whenever Skeksil, the Chamberlain, has a moment to talk to other people, because Skeksil is a schemer. He uses silver tongue, while the Emperor is becoming more impatient and brutal by every episode. But still, you can see that guy. He is basically as evil as Sauron, if not more so. But whenever he starts talking about how he fears, and when he gets faced with the realization that he's actually mortal, it just snaps something in his head, and I like watching it. I really
Mm.
enjoy watching that part.
And
It
so,
makes him, in a way, relatable, if that's right to say about a fucking bird lizard thing.
yeah, their design is wonderful. Like, it really speaks to you and say, I am an abomination of nature.
They're not
uh,
even natural. They're alien to the world, and they just
yeah.
seep and literally start draining the energy from the world itself.
And so, um, because even the article doesn't say entirely why it was cancelled. And you speak about cuties, but is it a joke or are you very serious?
It is mostly just me being angry that this series was canceled. They blame money.
Mm.
It was really, I think it was well received, but it was really expensive to make because everything
Yeah,
is either CGI or puppetry.
yeah.
Hard passion work.
They spoke very strongly about we are going to on the puppet road for the character and
Yeah.
the decor and because even today the old movie Dark Crystal is still beautiful. You can see
Oh yeah.
that it's puppet and all of that jazz like in a vibe of like the Unfinished Tale or something like that, the Never Ending Story. I don't remember the correct
Yeah.
name in English. But there is something to such a piece of work that it's not like very old CGI and the very first special effect that you can see it aged poorly. But with that kind of masterful puppetry, there is still a charm to it, even like 50 years later.
Yeah. And the Dark Crystal definitely has that, and it's going to be one of those slow aging shows,
Mm.
in my opinion, because it is just well made. Yeah.
Yeah, but I haven't, to be honest, I have heard a bit when it came out, but yeah, not much more. So maybe, yeah, it's just not enough number, not enough money in the bank. Yeah, it's a sad reality today. Like they expected a specific number or specific, results monetary wise,
Yeah.
and yeah.
And it just didn't reach the desired numbers, and it didn't even it's more of a cult popular thing,
Yeah.
unlike the things where people have disgusting desires and they figure out, hey, we can use this.
Yeah, Aldon, when I spoke that, I had that idea in my mind. It's the same reason that the old Star Wars is still watchable and beautiful to this day.
Yeah.
There are still
Jim Henson knows
there
his
are a
thing.
few things that I'm still not fond of. For example, the Ewok, I will still hate them to my death. But yeah, it's beautiful and believable, and it's you can see that it's a very old piece of art, but still enjoyable. So yeah,
Ewok should have been Wookiees. Changed my mind.
yes, Yeah, but it's a bit sad to be honest that something like that, something that this show could have been like a massive thing, and apparently was faithful to the original law and all of that. So yeah, because I have a fear with the Willow movie or TV show. I'm not sure that will came in the near future that it will have the Luke Skywalker treatment. You know, like oh, we have to find Willow and he will guide us to the right path, and he turned out to be a grumpy old man and something. You know, desecrating the legend of the character.
Well, it is unfortunately a bit inevitable in that part, just saying.
You've seen the trailer of Willow?
No, but I don't have much faith in stuff like that. Sorry.
You're not losing much, to be honest.
Good.
So, next topic. What are we going to talk about? Oh, I know. Something that Trim is very, very fond of, and I'm sure he will be delighted. And this is where the people who are in the Sultan sphere will be glad I'm going to speak about. So, Trim, do you like painting?
Yes, I do. What the fuck is this?
Someone clip that, please. You didn't see that one?
No, I did not, and I didn't want to see it. Why? Why?
Because
Oh God.
activism.
They can go fucking kill themselves.
So,
That'd be so much easier. That would be so much. We don't condone that, but you know, is it really that when it's just pest control?
well, to be honest, I'm more or less okay with that. So, unfortunately, the article is. I will find another one. It was not blocked previously, but yeah. So everyone have heard about the Bezek. So everyone have heard about the Van Gogh painting, and this one is a Monet painting, like the French painter. So yeah, and this time they use mashed potato.
Fucking
And yeah, the I wanted to react to one thing about that without going too much political. It's the first one with the Van Gogh. They said something like, what do you value most? Is it art or is it life?" And I'm like, if you ask this question, you didn't understand art. Like,
I mean, can I be honest here? I value
yeah,
art
go.
more than their lives. Is that okay to say?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, because fuck those guys.
And I'm not sure what your opinion is about that, but do you think that there is like a battle or a debate between art and sorry, between art and fuck. My antivirus was doing a dupe. So do you think that there is like a debate between art and life, and like what's the point of desecrating and trying to destroy legendary and priceless painting to have a political
Daddy
like
never loved them, and they want to take and they want payback because Daddy never loved them. That's at least what I'm thinking with these two creatures. But in my opinion, when it comes
oh
to
fuck.
art, I believe that art is core to the human experience.
So sorry, my
Sorry.
I can't find a full article on the thing without
Getting paywalled.
the site ask me for money.
You're getting paywalled. Ha ha ha. Take your
Okay,
paywall and shove
this
it up
one.
your.
Yeah, because there was another one, and it was in Australia, I think. Oh no, London. London, yeah, London. And they attacked another painting, and I don't know. A John Constable. I don't know much about that one, to be honest.
It's just this is the same kind of shit that happened during Mao's Great Leap Forward and the book burning of the Hitler Youth.
Hello, Toast. And yeah,
Hey, the Swede.
it's more or less the same thing. Like it's and I think it was Alden who spoke about that. There was a country in the Middle East. I don't remember which one. Who like there were an Islamic revolution or something like that, and they went smashing every piece of history and art they had in their museum and school and even in the street, like statues, sculpture, tapestry,
That
and
I think happened relatively recently, or within the
um
last few years.
something like 5 or 10 years, I'm not sure. And yeah, they had like a big mace and smash a sculpture like a face from and the Bronze Age or I don't know. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was. Yeah. This shit bugs me. What is more? What is worth more? Art of life. They
Great question. I think art is life.
yeah.
And I don't care if it makes me sound like a goddamn hippie.
The art the purpose of art is trying to imitate life and trying to tell a piece of reality into an artistic endeavor, and it goes back to the person who appreciate or read or watch the art, and it gave them some way of interpreting life. So it's like a back and forth between the artist and the public. And yeah, I think it's a dumb question and a dumb way to announce the eco-terrorism action.
Yeah.
Like they could have not picked a more idiotic way to do it.
Well, that's a good way to make sure people will despise you more because if these people ask me, "Oh, what do you care about more, art or life?" I will deadpan look them in the eye and say, "I value this art more than I value your life. Please go end yourself in Minecraft."
Yeah, in Minecraft. But yeah, I wanted to speak about that because it's I hate this. I hate I don't know. It's
The fact that you just hate it means you're a lot more calmer than me because I want to say things that are not YouTube appropriate.
because you see, this is a nice picture also. Like this is the Mona Lisa, the very famous painting. And they try to destroy it also with cream apparently.
Oh
Uh,
my
and what are you trying to accomplish? What is the point? What?
I think these idiots are trying to make a name for themselves because again, they got nothing. They can't create anything. As you know, as Tolkien says, evil cannot create anything. So they are going to try and make a name and a legacy for themselves by what they're capable of destroying.
Yeah. So this picture is a worker trying to clean the mess someone made, but yeah, someone apparently attacked the painting, and yeah. And fortunately, the person who run this museum and gallery and so forth, they protect the painting with a film of something or a glass or whatnot.
Oh,
So
thank God.
yeah, this is nice. But yeah, it, it for me it's like an attack on humanity itself for me, and
But then again,
I don't like that.
these eco-terrorists always want to attack humanity. I mean, just look, they're blocking traffic, blocking people who are in an ambulance desperately trying to, get some fucking help. And they're like, no, fuck you and fuck your planet.
Yeah.
This is, oh, it is not even
And
enraging anymore. It's
yeah,
just,
thank you, Alden. Yeah, it was in Tunisia with the Star Wars set, and they were on a good roll and said, "Oh, let's continue with actual history."
yes, there we go.
Yeah, and it's again, you know me, I don't want to go too much into politics, but I'm still thinking, what's go to the mind, except like you say, making a name from themselves. It's an easy target and all. So, but they have no respect for the artist, no respect for the people who value such thing, and for people who say, oh, feelings are important, and now, so yeah, and my feelings, because I love watching, going to a museum, watch nice art, and pisses me off.
No.
And even Alden say also about the, because we spoke a bit about the value of craftsmanships and art and stuff in our interview, well, the interview of Alden, and even if they don't damage the painting themselves, they damage the frame, the wood frame, most of the
Yeah.
time. And
They still managed to desecrate it in a
yeah,
way. Yeah, this is honestly, there should be fines or prison because this isn't just art. This is a part of human history.
yes,
You can't go through school without knowing any of this.
yes, and this is, I hope, the goal of every single artist in their life, to leave a mark on history. And someone said, oh, on this and date in this place, someone did this particular, I don't know, sculpture, for example, and it's something that is remembered for like 5,000 years. If
Hmm.
you are not in the mindset of at least trying to do something that is remembered and valued and seen as something worthy of time and protection, and yeah, you don't understand art. And I think I found an argument of the stupid thing, like, which is important, art or life. If there is no human being, we can't do art anymore. And if there is no art anymore, we understand less about humanity and the planet and so forth and so forth. So art and humanity goes hand in hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Again,
they
art
definitely
is
did not
humanity.
understand. Yeah, they don't understand a thing about art, I think.
I don't, but then again, they don't understand about being human anymore. These are just so
Ah,
disconnected from the human condition that they have nothing to give, nothing to, contribute. They just
this
want to
is
destroy because it is the only thing that gives them a feeling of value. These
this
are
is
literally
another
goddamn orcs under Sauron.
yeah. This is another part of the discussion I will leave to the sultans. I'm sure that I think maybe Bezek has already covered it, but if you have not, yeah, I leave you the more political side of the discussion for you, my Australian friend, and to not be too much black pill and despair and hating on idiot people. I will have you talk a bit about something you are very fond of, and um, you are somewhat excited to play, and this is a video game that is more or less like straight into horror.
Yeah.
And you have much thing to speak about, because this is a game that is heavily, and I say heavily, it's like the most heavily of everything in the heaviest thing ever, that is inspired by H.R. Giger. And so it's
I
a
I
game.
am I'm cons I think that the guy who made this game, when Geiger died, or something, he just summoned the spirit of Geiger back from the dead. It's like, how can I make this? And he's like, I will show you. Do drugs.
So I don't know much about the game itself, but what I can say and show you is that it's a mix of mechanic and organic thing into a hellish environment.
It is
And
a beautiful work of biomechanical art. And
yes,
of course, it is very similar to H.R. Giger. There's also this one other Polish artist who is the inspiration. I don't remember his name, but his works are fantastic as well as scary.
mm,
But this game has. I don't know. It seems more like a love letter to Geiger than anything else because the game itself is just it's not a first person shooter. It's more in terms of Undertale, it's more of an experience kind of game.
Yeah, it's more like an adventure from what I've gathered.
Yes.
But it's like an adventure into hell.
Yeah, it is.
And
It
it's
is the this is the adventure of the most unlucky motherfucker in the known universe, followed shortly by the story of the even more unlucky motherfucker in the universe.
And to me, it reminded me a bit about the game Agony, that was literally a story of a soul that tried to escape hell, if I'm not mistaken. And
Yep.
the game was not a great success, even though it still made a bit of a ruckus, because the concept was like amazing and the art direction also was amazing. And it gave me a bit of vibe of this game into this one, Scorn. Not like,
Yeah.
you know, mechanical horror or something. It's just like you are just a man into the most dangerous place in the universe and you're trying
Yeah.
to escape.
If you want an experience of how it is to read Lovecraft, just play Scorn and you'll get a
Yeah.
pretty good idea.
So what can you tell about this game? Like you've watched Let's Play, you've
Yeah,
played
I've
it,
watched
you
Let's Plays of it because I'm saving up some money to buy some stuff, and unfortunately, I don't have the balls to play horror games that much. But I have been fixated on this thing since it came out, and going through the lore, seeing the designs of it, Jesus Christ, it's beautiful. But uh, it's a twisted alternate world, this entire thing, and it is slowly dying. And you're just born, and that's from what I can guess, you're just born, and from your first second, you have to struggle to survive and try to get out of that hellhole.
well, I'm showing the trailer, or at least the video that is on the article, and you have to rip your own umbilical cord.
Yep.
That's
And
uh
and
that's
that is the
something.
most unlucky motherfucker. That's the most unfortunate motherfucker. The guy before him, well, he at least starts without having to do that in front of you, at least.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah, it
but
is. I'm kind of a fan of the grotesque and things like that. And Scorn just really picks off what I enjoy about the more uncanny or disgusting vibes of it. And yet it is. I like to. This is a good example of what I mean when I say the beautiful in the grotesque.
still you are too much of a pussy to play it.
Well, I'm gonna play one day, but right now I'm saving up for some fun things.
Ah,
So,
okay.
and it
I
is
understand
again,
as
it's more like a walking simulator, like games where you walk around and experience the area,
yeah.
more than an action shooter. You can shoot.
Yeah, but from what I gather, it's like you have some weapons or means to defend you, but it's not like you cannot go and shoot everything and being like Duke Nukem.
Exactly. You're literally, in most of the cases, you're just a newborn creature who just learned to walk, and now you're thrust in a world that is either out to kill you or just leave you alone, or most likely try and devour you alive.
Prime Knight says something funny. Very 40k Dark Elf, well, Dark Eldar, but yeah, it's the same. This must be their kind of humor show. Yes.
Yeah, actually, this is what passes for
Welcome
a
to
wholesome
Komarog.
comedy. This is basically just this is the Dark Elves version of a wholesome comedy series.
the
Fucking Drakari motherfuckers.
the prince the prince of Bel Komarog.
Yeah, but yeah, this it is it isn't a happy saga. It isn't a story meant to give you good vibes. It is just a horrible slog through a world that doesn't care, controlled by creatures that isn't there anymore but care even less. And you just have to try to survive this whole ordeal.
Yes. And I totally get why it's appealing for some people, and well, it's appealing for me also. But just like you, I'm too much of a pussy to play a horror video game. I remember
Yeah,
the one time I tried to play the first Dark Space. Yeah, Dark Space.
Dead Space.
Dead Space. Thank you. And well, not to spoil, but the very first minute of the game, there is not much happening. You go to the ship. It's like, you have to repair something, blah 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 blah. And 1 second later, oh my god, there is like an alien trying to murder everyone. And you run towards an elevator to escape, and to not die. And the alien tried to go into the elevator, and in the end he is chopped off by the elevator itself, and so you can escape, and you don't suffer an horrible death. But at that special moment when the alien tried to forcefully open the door of the elevator, I I launched the mouse to the screen like
Well, at least you got that far. I didn't even have the balls to. I didn't even have the balls to fucking play the first one. I did try and play the
well,
third game.
I played for like 5 minutes tops. I
Yeah,
encounter like
that's 5 minutes more than me, buddy.
I encounter maybe 3 or 4 xenomorph, and yeah, I was done. Oh no, I don't play that. I don't like that. It's scary. I don't like scary.
I've played a little bit of Dead Space 3, but nobody wants to play with me, so I'm just letting it rot.
Apparently, from what I've heard, the third game was not much of a Dead Space anymore.
Yeah, I know. But it's got funny lore, though. But it's part of the same suffering that Mass Effect went through with Dead Space 3, Mass Effect 3. Both suffered the ever slithering grip of EA.
Prime Night say
You know, that image is a good example of what I mean.
Prime Night said the first hour of Dead Space was terror, then I got a decent gun and it became Doom Light. Yeah, I can understand. That's what one of my friends said, and apparently the best gun was the basic gun you get in the game, like the cutter, I think it's named, but upgraded to a different way, and then it became like a Doom Rocket or something, and you one shot almost all enemies. And the nice thing about Dead Space is you should not try to pummel something into bullets. You have to cut their members.
Yes. You have to cut their limbs off in order to kill them. Here, though, you get guns, but the guns aren't really that powerful. And here's the secret about Scorn. It is, if you step away from the monsters, or if you're able to run away from them, they will ignore you and then leave. It is better to try and run away or just avoid the enemies. And that's what I mean when it's more of a walking simulator game than a action game. It's an experience game. A bit artsy. And I like this. I like it.
A walk into a painting and a sculpture of H.R. Giger.
Yeah, good luck with that one. Just whatever you do, don't eat anything stew related.
Prime Nut said the first, you mean Dead Space. So the third Dead Space was a co-op overall light with some psychological event. The Dead Space formula was lost. Yeah, that's what I've heard also. And that's what I've seen from the few, snippets of Let's Play I've seen back in the days. It was like, this is not how Dead Space work.
Nope. But hey, it's what happens when EA starts putting their knee on the necks of the companies, and of course they killed Visceral afterward.
I don't know if it was EA, because I heard I watched a bit like a documentary or something, like yes, someone explaining what happened to Dead Space, and they try to milk the franchise to a degree that even the studios and the developers and everything and everyone was like burned out of everything, because they tried to make, like, I think, a comic book. They tried, I think, a project of a TV show, and so it was like everything was clustered and blocked, with each other, and they could not like put out everything they wanted to, and I think that's one of the reasons the franchise died. But I'm sure
I'm
on.
just saying that the first comic of Dead Space and the first movie was awesome.
Mm.
But unfortunately, you can clearly see the burnout.
Yeah, so sorry, Alden. The English, yeah, yeah, it's limbs. I know. Member is not the
Well, you
same.
could, you do. There are some creatures that where you do that as well. Oh
Yeah,
Lord.
but Bleach. The fun thing about what you are saying, amusing to see how people will react to real life horror. Well, we can see that with the people who try to destroy the painting we talked about a few moments ago. I'm sure that these people have no life experience, not
They
at
don't.
all. Like, and I will just mention it, not going deep into it, but I'm sure you all have heard about the people who glue themselves in the porch garage or cellar or something, and they were blocked for like almost 2 days with no water, no toilet, no nothing. And the guy who ran the shop, or I don't know, said, "Well, I told you it was okay for you to protest. I didn't told you I will cater to your demands."
Okay, based. I love it.
That was funny.
Yeah. Consequences for their actions, and that's something they never really have gotten yet.
Yeah.
Something which I hope will
And
happen soon.
speaking about base things, we will switch about we switch topic and speak about another thing. Do you like South Park, my dear Norwegian friend?
To a certain extent.
I very very much enjoy South Park, and well, if you didn't know, a few weeks ago, they did a special celebration for the 25th anniversary of the show, and so they did like a special concert with member of the band Rush, I think. And yeah, they said like full songs of the TV show, like the team, the song Blame Canada, and stuff like that.
Fucking fucking face, Uncle Fucker.
Yeah. And so yeah, they did like an entire show concert with South Park, and yeah, it was great. It was great, and it shows that being provocative, but not stupid about it, just poking fun at things. It's something that people love. It's something that there is a demand for such content, and being uh, Google Translate. Sorry. uh, how to
A
say
bit
that?
edgy. Shouldn't be not allowed.
Being irreverent. That's right. That's the word.
Irreverent.
Yes. This is something that people love, and yeah, it was so wholesome to me to see that, because one of the guy, Matt Stone, was a very strong fan of the band Rush, and when the members came into the scene, he was like, "Oh my God, that's my favorite band!" And it was so cute to see him, being like starstruck and everything. It was fun and nice, and everyone says, "Oh, the South Park is edgy. It's filthy. They are bad people. It's not funny." Yeah, yeah, yeah. Here's the result: 25 years, still going strong.
Yeah, and another funny thing is that they also have standards.
Yes.
That is really rare, but God bless these people.
Yes, and the thing is with South Park is, I don't know if you heard about that, or if you played the game, but they skipped 2 seasons to make full-on video games. With the Stick of Truth, the first one, and the second one is the fracture butt wall. I know, pun.
Butthole.
Yeah, butthole.
Butthole.
Yes. And
Uh,
they were very nice game, and it was like a full season of the TV show with story, with snippets, with reference, with it was everything a South Park fan could have asked for, and the game itself was very, very nice, very well made. And
yeah.
if you haven't played that game, these two games, I really encourage it.
Yeah, the reason I didn't play the games is because the gameplay isn't really my thing.
The
But I
to
did watch playthroughs of most of it.
Okay. Well, I watched playthrough and I was like, I have to play the thing because it seemed awesome. And yeah, it's awesome. It's very funny and there is so that's it. That's just plain fun. When you have like the military Nazi speaking German while you try to fight them. Oh man, it's great. When you have to play with your fat to destroy a wall to go to the next level, and I love
You
this.
go to Canada and
Yeah.
beware of dire bears because they're like bears, but dire.
And everything is like
Stupid animal.
8 bits, with the very old generation video game, and yeah, the difficulty scale.
Yeah, that was the best. That was funny when people start reacting to that. It's like, oh, okay. And it's like, it doesn't affect combat, just everything else. And yeah, you can make yourself a non-binary, and the first thing that happens is a bunch of rednecks pull up beside
Yeah.
you to try to kick your ass.
But did this happen? Whatever you put in the bio is like you are straight, you're homosexual. They come and we don't like homosexual in this place. Very robotic voice to accentuate the effect of something auto-generated, and yeah, it was great. And even though you want to change the sex, they still come afterwards. The, the damn rednecks of South Park, always fun.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it's something to celebrate for me because a show like that, so satiric, so strong in the jokes and opinion and everything. Everyone take everyone take jokes with South Park. Everyone, conservative, leftist, gay, straight, black, everything, and everyone. And this is for me the only show that is still good to this day. In opposition, for example, The Simpsons, Family Guy, American Dad, and all of that shows. At some point, they stopped being fun. They ran out of ideas, and South Park they're still going. And I,
Yeah.
I don't I
And the
don't
best
see
part
them.
is that, oh, sorry.
No, go.
One of the parts I liked is that when everything was uber political for 2 seasons and then they just stopped like, okay, we've been too political at this, we're just gonna drop that and keep going in another direction.
Yeah, that was with the Trump election, and they said, well, we've run our course with the joke, and now we are going to speak about other things.
Yeah.
And
Thank
it
you
was
so
still
much.
funny. It was still funny.
Yep.
And
I
did
think
you
Mr. Garrison would make a good president for like 5 seconds before he nukes the fucking country.
and did you watch the special like let's say that they filmed themselves while doing an episode of South Park, and this is so chaotic, so chaotic. They do everything in like a week with no preparation in advance, none whatsoever.
I know, it is beautiful.
Yes, it's a creative madness.
And that is what makes them so fucking good because they're
Yeah.
like, they use a year to just hype themselves up and just think, okay, how this is gonna be like this is gonna be like that, and then let's go.
Yep.
Oh man, I love it. South
Yes.
Park, it will always have a special place in my heart.
I still watch the show Well, when I ate this earlier today, I watched like a random episode of South Park. I don't care which one. They're all good. They're all nice.
South Park
What
fanboy, dead ahead.
one of my favorite is the medicinal fried chicken. You know that one?
uh, that's the one where everybody treats KFC like it's a hard drug in it.
Yeah, and
Cartman becomes a goddamn cartel leader.
yeah, it's the Scarface parody, and
Uh,
they all have prescription for marijuana.
yeah, and
They bounce on their balls, pa bum pa
fucking,
bum. Pa.
that is good stuff.
And do you know that the first time they did something together, Trey and Matt Stone, they were like at school, and they have like a team project, and everyone got with someone, and they look at each other and say, "Want to make some fart jokes?" Yes. That's the basic
And
story.
from there,
Yeah,
something beautiful was created.
that's the story of their friendship.
Um, I'm just
Ah,
happy they managed to do what they've done for so long and still love what they do.
seriously, Bezek, that's something that happened actually. Remember when
Remember
New
the New
Zealand?
Zealand actually arrested people for smuggling? What?
Man, I
Are you
understand.
kidding me?
I understand now when you said that New Zealand is worse than Australia.
Huh.
Well,
Drop their control.
nonetheless, next topic, my dear friend, and this is where Trim is going to be on a bit of a rant, and I'm going to lay back a bit and let him speak and do his own session therapy. So, my dear Trim, my dear Norwegian friend,
Well,
apparently you are a bit tired and sad to see that there is not much strong and efficient storytelling today in video game.
mm, yeah, sad. Very sad. Uh, I don't even know how to start in this one because let's just put it like this. This was something I heard during a review of either Dragon Age Origins or Mass Effect 2. And it was birds sing, grass is green, water is wet, and BioWare makes good stories. That shit does not fly today. Because people just never fucking never consider making something worthwhile. They never find something that is worthy actual effort. It seems like it at least. Because everything is just a waste of time. They're like, okay, we make project, we make for money, but what do we want for? Yes, yes. Let's just put subject number one and add a bit of subject number two. And then we just fucking make some kind of multicolored weirdo thing and no effort in anything. Just mediocrity. That's all we get. And I miss the days when we actually could have something like Mass Effect, especially Mass Effect 2, which, in my opinion, is just a work of art. Or Mass Effect Citadel DLC, which is just fan fucking tastic. I don't know. Yeah, it's mostly just me being frustrated at this point.
But
Ironically, it's Kotaku that
I
vents in.
honestly honestly agree because there is less and I will reference a video you sent me about someone who explain it's a very long video, but you can
Yeah,
I will link it in the chat.
yeah.
So
And Endymion is a guy I recently found, and
yeah,
he has this video and another one where he just talks about how characters, male characters in this one, how men aren't written as good characters anymore because they have to fall within a certain line. And then now I'm watching another video he made, which is about female characters and how they are not even being given anything because women are written like a parody of the 80s style action hero, while men are written to be just a bunch of useless set pieces with
Yeah,
no personality or strength at all. They're not
and
written to be characters, they're just written to be plot part one, plot part two.
a bit of a segue, but in this video, I've sent the link. So the title is "Why Does Today's Media Hate Strong Male Character?" And there is a part when he speak about his own sacred movie, so to speak, and this is Batman Begins, so the first of the Christopher Nolan trilogy. And he explained why this movie speaks to him and why this is so important for him, that people, men, but people in general, have strong male people and character to look at, so to speak. So representation, when like the other folk says, and that it inspires people. And this is not about, having like a male or a female or whatsoever. It's just a good character. But the thing is, today there is evidence about an erasure of male character.
Yeah, I mean, just look at every single Marvel movie that
Yeah,
exists.
cause
Just look at the journey of the Hulk, and you pretty much just have it all
yeah,
up summed up there.
yeah, this is something I spoke about with you a bit, like yesterday, I think. I watched
Yep.
the 2003 Hulk movie. So in this movie, there is, I won't spoil it for people who didn't watch it, but it's more of a family story within Bruce Banner and his father. And this is a very, very tragic and hard story to contemplate, so to speak. And you will never have such storytelling in today Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Hulk is like a beta cuck today. I mean, Mark Ruffalo is the worst Hulk we ever had.
Yeah. My favorite Hulk is the guy from the Incredible Hulk movie.
Edward Norton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him too.
But the thing is, though, it's not just male characters, but stories in general that pisses me off. But
Mm.
the male character thing is just what made me start thinking about how we just, or the people who get the opportunity to make stories, they don't take the time, they don't take the opportunity as what it is. These aren't visionaries with a goal. These aren't people who have a dream. These are just a bunch of, I'm not gonna say what I want to say, but it's end with the R and ends with ard. But anyway, they are just a bunch of idiots who don't know the opportunity that has been given to them. And either they're fools or they're just spineless cowards because, oh, but we have to make like this. It's just be an activist or get out is apparently what seems to be the main line of anything regarding to story or series
Yeah,
creation these days.
this is something I tackle about in one of my own video on my channel. So the French video I made, it was about inserting your own ideas and opinion into your story, the story that you are writing. And I try to, how to say that, protect my story the best I can, to not insert myself. Of course, there is some bits of opinion I hold, and some bits of vision I like and stuff like that, but it's not like a self-insert. It's not like I want to preach to the people that read my story. This is not like that. This is not the goal and the purpose of a story. A purpose of a story is to be enjoyable. That's it.
Yeah.
When I
Here's an
finish,
example that isn't woke in that kind where the author has a opinion, but he refuses to even be a little bit, apologizing to the side he dislikes.
hmm,
The Boys, the comic book.
yeah,
The author hates superheroes, and you just feel it throughout the entire series because you can't find a single soup, as they call it, that is even closely a good guy. And if you find one that is kind of a good guy, he turns out to be a child molester the next scene. And that is before this whole wokery thing came out of nowhere and started making a pest out of everything. And now it's like the message, quote unquote.
The
Imagine a
message.
reverberation of voice. It's people are using that because they think, oh, we have to do this because it is the thing everybody wants, while completely forgetting the fact that nobody gives a shit. Hell, even the people who preach this don't really care about it. Nobody cares about it. The only
Yeah.
ones who care are either completely brainwashed or they get something out of it.
Yes, there is like ulterior motive, like and I will go a bit into politics, but Black Lives Matter. The purpose of the movement was to protect and defend and being advocating for black people, and they just both mention, and that's it.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, but I thought it was about Black Mansions Matter.
Yeah, and yeah, this
It's
is
just grift. It's just a grift, and people are desperately trying to get on the same train so they can get some of that sweet, sweet grift moolah. And it comes at the cost of the integrity of the artist, the integrity of everyone on the show. And it's like, I watched one of Arch's Archcasts like a month ago or something, where they talked with a guy who is currently running, who did run his own Kickstarter to make his own series.
oh yeah, yeah, the guy who worked on Steven Universe and so forth.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah,
he talks about a little bit about at least how in the scene people were more normal, thinking just being there to make something good. But over time, they have now just devolved into these hollowed out remnants of what they used to be because everything has to be about this politic thing because if we don't, we're gonna get found by the Stasi and then we're gonna get shot in the market square.
yep.
That they have that kind of mentality. It's like Big Brother's watching them all the time, and oh God, you're getting canceled, Twitter. Then you have nothing to live for, apparently.
Yeah.
And these people are so scared of being caught in the eye of their own creation that they are willing to sacrifice children to keep themselves safe.
Yeah.
They're not good people. And
It remind me a bit about the last TV show Halo, and that
you had to remind me about that one,
you
huh?
you have to sacrifice, the hero, and make him remove his helmet and not being the Master Chief anymore, and
The
thus
moment he took off his helmet in front of the camera so you could see his face, it stopped
yeah, and
being
it
Master Chief.
doesn't even do it like one, two, three times. I even four, five times. It does it every single equation you have.
Yeah, and it's just take Halo 4. Not even there did Master Chief take off his helmet properly so you could see his whole face.
Yeah,
He never did in the games because it was sort of like a thing. The Master
and
Chief is,
to me that's another way of destroying the storytelling and destroying the hero of the supposed franchise you are doing a TV show about.
yeah, because the legend dies when you say, in this case, remove his mask.
Yeah.
It's the reason why Batman doesn't show his face because when they find out he's just a rich kid, rich orphan on a vengeance vendetta, then he suddenly loses all his power.
Yeah.
He gets a face. Well, as the Batman, they don't know who he is, they don't know why he has all this tech, and he can be anywhere and he can get them anywhere.
It's like the V character from the V for Vendetta
Yep,
comics. If you see a face, it's not an ID anymore.
exactly. And V was, well, he stopped being a person the day he survived the fire, right?
Yes, yes.
And his decision there was to never embrace the person ever again. He would then become the very ideal he struggled for.
Which is
And
not
that's
a
what
very
made him a.
good moral principle he holds.
No, but it was all because of vengeance,
Yeah, yeah,
because of
yeah,
the
yeah.
people
But
and those he loved. And
he's aware of that, and he know that he's doing like a very long and tiring suicide, so to say. It's
Yep.
he's aware of the wrong decision he takes, but in his mind, and we it's kinda logical when you have his point of view. It's the only way to achieve what he wants to achieve.
Well, V from Vendetta, or the character V, the man behind the mask, he is a villain.
Yes, no way.
Yes, but he is a villain to another set of villains, which kind of balance it out again, because he isn't a predator that hunts the weak. He's a predator that hunts the strong.
The tyrants even.
Yes. Basically a lion that eats other lions.
Yes.
And that's why you don't despise his character, because he he has a goal. His targets are the people who
Even
are
though
the
he's despicable, he's still a bit relatable. A bit.
yeah. I mean, first time I saw the movie, I thought he was supposed to be the good guy, but then he started torturing the main chick, and was like, oh shit.
To be honest,
But he,
I cried when he tortured Natalie Portman. The scene
yeah,
was just beautiful, horrific but beautiful.
yeah, but it was a real good insight into the character of V.
Yeah,
And you just see that he is a broken shard of a man whose only reason to exist is to take out the people who wronged him.
and wrong everything like his country and the world, because if I remember correctly, like the whole world is gone to shit in the V for Vendetta universe. There was like a
Yep.
war, I don't know, a plague, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it was something like that. I don't quite remember the details.
SM.
But he is a revolutionary who strikes out against everything that has to do with the regimes. But
Yeah,
he avoids harming those who are victims themselves.
and we go back to the terrorists who attack the painting, and with character like that, with a good storytelling like Batman, V for Vendetta, Neo from Matrix, Kratos from God of War, I don't know, you can understand the world a bit more in the good sense, the bad sense, and it's a window to real life, and you have to it's weird to say that, but you have to have good art and good storytelling for humanity to understand itself in a way.
Exactly. It allows you to see the darkness within the human heart without experiencing it yourself.
Yeah.
Or it's also a way for you to handle loss.
Yes.
For example, I've gone through some personal losses like everyone else, and I use stories and different games to help me come through with it.
Yeah, like the guy on the video who said that Batman Begin is his movie for him that he watch almost every year to also say like train himself to be a better person and so forth.
Yeah,
We
I
almost all
mean,
have this kind of thing, I think. Like a movie
yeah.
that we all dear and help us, and
I don't know if I said this on stream or anything, but a few years ago, I lost someone who was very dear to me. Many, many years ago now, or oh, 7. And it was a hard loss because that was someone I loved like he was my brother, and it was, well, mildly devastating. But then, and everybody, you can laugh if you want, but the thing is, I found my anchor in the game Undertale, because a lot of it was about loss or coping with a horrible situation.
I haven't
And
played
then
it,
I
but
started
I
caring
know
about the
that
creatures there and characters.
I haven't played it, but I know that many people have a very strong attachment to the video game Undertale. It
I'm
has
just
a very
saying
strong
this, that
following.
don't fucking follow the fan base. Just like the game itself.
Mm.
Don't judge the game by the fan base, because the
Oh
fan
no,
base is a fucking toxic. Oh God, it's disgusting. I hate it so much.
This is so bad.
Oh yeah, the fan base, quote unquote, the Tumblr Arena fan base can just
Hmm, okay.
burn it all. But the game, the message, the enjoyment I had from it, it pretty much just helped me from the edge.
Yeah, I understand perfectly what you are saying, and this is one of the reason I did my own thing, my own books, my own story. It's in a way to give back what I received from so many media and artists and everything. Because I had also a pretty rough upbringing, and even like 10 years ago, it was very hard for me. So yeah, I relied heavily on art and games and everything to stay alive, so to speak. Music also, and I hope that one day I will give back what I got and help other people when they need it.
Yeah, there's some people will find your story when you get it out. I mean, you told me about that 60-year-old guy who just oh, I'm a fan of your book. Yeah, I remember you were pretty happy about that one.
But yeah, so we need strong character, male, female, dogs, I don't care. We
Mm.
need because that's the thing I hate the most about today's entertainment. It's not that we have so many girls and gays, I don't care. It's just that it's bad character. Like
Yeah, the thing
it
is they've sacrificed the who for the what.
yeah,
It is not interesting to me if I mean, just look. One of my favorite characters in video gaming is Samus Aran. She doesn't say much, but she's a chick that wrecks planet that are full of evil creatures on a daily basis.
yep,
Right? You have Link from Legend of Zelda. He is a technically little fucking twink boy who, under no circumstances, should be able to pull off half the shit he pulls off, and yet he fights the what do you call it? The amalgamation of evil as many times required in so many reincarnations as needed. And it doesn't even it's like he goes against impossible odds and yet he helps people while going through his journey. I'm not a tiny blonde haired twink boy who can lift twice his body weight. I'm a fat dude with a red neck beard.
yep,
You
yeah,
don't have to you don't have to look like a character in order to identify. I mean, just remember when I talked about the Skeksis?
yeah.
Skekso? An evil, cruel motherfucker. But whenever he's faced with the fact that he will, in the end, die, it brings a such a human terror to him because he is so afraid to die.
Yeah, it remind me when you said you don't have to look like the character to relate to said character, and I know that one of the strongest and most beloved female character in the whole geekdom and cinema is Ellen Ripley from Alien, and
What?
there is also like I don't remember the name of the character, but it's Emma Thurman in Kill Bill. You know, the girl with the saber and
Yeah, the bride.
yeah, the bride. Thank you. And yeah, this is also a character I much love. And I'm not a chick. I'm not a martial artist. I'm also like a fat fuck like you. So, but the story of the character of Emma Thurman is so a punch in the gut. Like she watched her lover died as she's supposed to be wed, and she's hunted down, and like she's paralyzed, and even there at the hospital, like half her body is working, and she's still she's still chased by some crazy chick. Like oh man, Kill Bill is such a good movie. But yeah, I'm not a chick. I'm not a martial artist.
Nah. And I'm not a scale evil vulture lizard from outer space.
Uh, well, I'm not sure about that.
Don't you fucking call me out in public, dude. I'll find you.
Chris has studied the blade. I'm not sure what you are referring to.
Chris has studied. Yeah. It's a reference from Kill Bill.
Oh, okay.
It's a meme from Kill Bill. While you were having premarital sex, I was studying the blade.
I didn't catch that reference. Sorry. But yeah, Kill Bill. It's also a very cool movie with a female lead, and she's just awesome in that movie. Awesome.
Yeah.
I always felt bad when she goes to the house of another assassin, and she fight with her, and all of a sudden the daughter of the prey of the bride come out and say, "Oh, mommy, what are you doing?" "Oh, nothing, nothing."
Yeah. And then she brutally kills her. Her daughter
Yeah,
comes in and she's like, "Hey, I know what I did. If you want payback, find me."
yeah. That's oh man,
Yeah. And that's something I like because what was the name of the guy who made those movies?
Tarantino.
Tarantino, yeah. He never makes an outright good guy. He makes a flawed and cruel person who has a few good sides. Or a broken individual who used to be kind, but now is just a shell of what they used to be.
Yeah. And yeah, Ardent, of course, there is Princess Leia, but we always speak about Star Wars, so I wanted to throw another franchise in the mix. Because yeah, there is
In the mixer.
Leia, there is Ellen Ripley, Samus Aran. This is the three very old and legendary female strong character.
Yeah. Also, Zelda gets a bad rep because she needs saving from Link. But let's just put it like this: Zelda is the reincarnation of a goddess
Yeah, and
whose
she's a warrior at
ability,
some point.
yeah, and she is the host of a power that is the opposite of the bad guy's power, meaning that she's a walking, talking nuke to them. If you're playing a game as Zelda, you would just wreck shit. Just saying. But Zelda is never really a damsel in distress. Just play fucking Ocarina of Time. She goes fucking undercover and helps Link the entire fucking game. At least the adult section.
Yeah, and this is
Link
where I
wouldn't
think
have
she.
succeeded. Yeah, Link wouldn't have succeeded without Zelda's aid. Link never would have succeeded in any game without Zelda's aid.
And this is in the Ocarina of Time that Zelda transformed into a ninja or something.
Yeah, to Sheik. But hell, even in Majora's Mask, Zelda gives Link the ocarina he uses to travel through time that helps him save an alternate world from a fucking eldritch abomination stuck in a goddamn multicolored mask. I like Majora's Mask.
Yeah, you like Zelda, I know.
A little bit,
So
maybe.
next topic. Uh, duh, 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 duh. Have you heard, my dear Trim, that there was like a project of a Bad Girl movie?
Yeah, but the Warner Bros. Scrapped it because even they saw that it wouldn't fly.
Well, it's not. It's
Oh,
not.
the salt on Twitter was beautiful.
It's not only Bad Girl. It's like so many things that was cancelled. Like
Hell,
the
even Infinity Train got axed.
so many things I don't know how to count and when to start. But yeah, HBO and Warner Brothers and everything was they scrap everything. So apparently there is a Gordita Chronicle. I don't know what the fuck it is. Bad Girl, of course. Strange Adventure. Don't know what it is. A Batman Cape Crusader, apparently, also. I don't know if it was a follow-up to the very old Batman TV show that everyone loved. Maybe. I don't know.
The animated series.
Demi-monde. I don't know what it is also, but
Sounds French. I have no idea.
the last OG, don't know. Well, yeah, there's on this link you can see so many things that was scrapped and butchered.
Yeah.
Oh, Snowpiercer TV show. That would have been interesting.
Well, I didn't really watch a lot of it. I've stopped watching series like this
But
because hmm,
yeah, that's honestly good news to me that the higher ups at yeah, I also thought that it was J.J. Abrams. It's nice to me that the higher ups of some big company tech thing start to think, yeah, maybe we have to start over a whole line of work and a project and cut the fat a little bit.
yeah. I mean, as Elon Musk is going to do with Twitter, he's going to remove 7,500 people.
That's another topic. Keep that for the sultans.
I know. I'm just enjoying Elon just being Elon.
Yeah, you've seen the bits about with the sink. You've seen that?
About the sink?
Yeah, you didn't see that apparently.
Probably not.
So the story goes, and I watched the video. So this is what really happened. He entered the building of Twitter with a sink, a sink like a kitchen sink or bathroom sink.
Really?
I don't know. And he said, "Let that sink in."
Oh man. I hope that his next project, his Project X original,
Yeah.
will become as big as he intends it to be, because Elon can get the backing necessary to actually make alternatives that are attractive to investors, because that's something Rumble and Odyssey and and every other wannabe next YouTube never will get.
Oh, sorry,
Just saying.
I drift a bit because sorry, Tim. Adam
It's right.
said that Adam Strange was DC Flash Gordon Buck Rogers, and on the little sentences we have, 1 week after the Batgirl news broke, HBO Max confirmed that Greg Berlanti DC's anthology series, which was first announced in 2019, was not moving forward at the streamer. Kevin Smith, who had been hired to co-write an episode, reasoned on his Hollywood Babylon podcast, "I thought Strange Everton being a causality kind of made sense to me. Nobody necessarily knew this character. It sounded like an expensive show."
Yes. That guy. Kevin Smith. May he
Yeah.
forever be cursed
The,
with his
the
own
the funny
ineptitude.
the funny thing is I always knew him as Silent Bob, the funny
Yeah.
duo, but I never knew the name of the guy. And this is
Nope.
when He-Man debacle occurred, that now I know the name of the guy, and I'm sad that I know the name of said guy. I wish
Yeah.
I didn't.
I want Kevin Smith to become a pariah in the circle of animation, to be seen what happens when you lie and destroy the things you're put to do.
Well,
Basically, He-Man did the Rings of Power before they came out.
the thing is, I'm okay with Kevin Smith to be, ban or pariah or I don't know. But first, I want the name of the guy. The guy who made the 8th Star Wars movie, The Last Jedi. I don't know the name.
Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, it's something Ryan
Yes,
Johnson.
Ryan Johnson.
Ryan Johnson.
One of the most hated names in my vocabulary.
This one I don't want anymore. This one can be axed. And yeah, so it's interesting to see such a drastic movement and strategy to scrap everything, we start over in the big name. Like Warner Brothers was at one point the biggest name ever in the movie industry.
They were the biggest rival to Disney at
Yeah,
one point.
and so
And
it's
if oh sorry.
no, but go ahead.
What I want is for Warner Bros. To get back to becoming one of the best again by just outright scrapping everything that is just woke because it just goes broke. No matter what you do, no matter what you create out of it, if you try to insert politics into it, you're killing it dead before it even comes out.
Get woke, go broke.
Yes. And that is not just a meme anymore.
Yep, and I'm curious to see what is going to happen in the Warner Brothers, of course, but also in the overall entertainment industry because I know that I need more input and more information about that. But I know that Disney also is starting to feel the cold a little bit with their project. You know, the so many production in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the park. You know, the Disney World park is not doing so good anymore.
Nope.
So yeah, I think the big boys of entertainment are seeing the light in a different way. Even the
Yeah,
video game
it's not that
industry.
they're ever though I'm gonna say this. Disney, Warner Bros., the leaders, the people behind that will never have a moment where, oh, we actually care about art now. They never will.
No,
They're
no,
just
never.
money folks. They just care about the money. But sooner or later, I hope that they will see the correlation that quality equals money.
Yes.
And
Well, most
I
of
mean,
the time.
the
Most
thing
of the
they should
time.
have, yeah, this thing they should aim for more than between the blockbusters, make cult followings. Get something that creates a cult following, a cult classic.
Yeah. In the same way,
That
for
is playing the
example, of
long game.
the Brotherhood of the Wolf or something like that. I'm not sure. The French movie, I spoke about it a few times. Let me check the name. Uh, 1 second. Yeah, The Brotherhood of the Wolf. It's a very, very, very good movie that I encourage everyone to see. This is the um, the picture and the poster of the movie, and yeah, everyone should watch it. So it's a little it's it's a little picture, but yeah, this is the picture of the movie, and this is a cult classic because at the start, so it's a French movie, but a very good French movie. Man, you all need to see it. It was not a flop, but it was not a success, and it was revolutionary for the time because it has very strong special effect, nice cast and acting. The story was very nice, and yeah, it was very very good, but it didn't do as good as it should have in the box office. Years later, the movie exploded in the US. Exploded. It's a cult classic, as you said. That's why I'll speak about it in the
Yeah.
US after the release, like years after the release. And if you watch closely, my dear friend Trim, you see that
Yes.
the aesthetic of the costume of the character is very, very like strong. This is a very strong identity, and this movie was the main inspiration for the game Bloodborne.
Yes.
So yeah, I heavily, heavily encourage people to see this movie. It's so good. And if possible,
Yeah.
yes, I'm sorry, watch it in French with subtitles. It will be better for you. Trust me.
Yeah. I've become more of a sub over dub any day of the
Same.
week. But speaking of cult classics,
Yeah, sorry for the segue.
I just want to mention this though. The Thing of the original, the original Thing, that is a fantastic
You mean
movie that everyone should see.
the old thing movie?
Yes, not the one from
Yeah,
2011 because
John
that's an
Carpenter.
abomination.
Okay, John Carpenter.
Yes, John Carpenter's The Thing, which is inspired from a book from Who Goes There, which again is taken from a book called Frozen Hell, which I need to read.
Yeah, the very old movie. So Trim sent me a
Yeah,
link, and yeah, sorry for the the horror picture, but yeah.
I love this movie.
Yeah, I've watched it. I watched the original, and yeah, it was something to behold.
Yeah,
The
and
the
it
scene
has
with
yeah.
the scene with the dogs, you know, the kennel. Oh man, this is horrible.
My best friend is a dog person, and when he saw that part, he just ended up. He didn't look at the screen. He just stared at me
Yeah, I understand why.
angrily. He got really angry at me. I mean, I understand why, but he hates watching dogs suffer in movies.
Yeah, it's not much dog suffer. It was like the way the creature transform. Oh man.
Yes, but again, the beauty of the grotesque.
Yeah. Yep. I definitely know why you love a thing like Scorn and Cthulhu and yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just sometimes, adorable, cute things, but sometimes you need a little bit of fucking horrible, disgusting shapes just to
We
spice
know
it all up.
we know why you drew so weirdly special
And
character.
disgustingly, I know.
Yeah. So for final topic, because we reached the 2 hour max. This is the last topic for you, my friend. So we will speak a bit about very old and strong franchise that are
Ah,
not there anymore, and nobody really knows why.
F in
Uh,
the chat for Half-Life, my boys. We're
yeah,
never getting that one.
the Half-Life 3 that everyone is waiting for. We had Alex, the VR thing. Apparently it's nice, but it's not like a true Half-Life game.
Okay, I just want to say this. Half-Life Alex was a really good example of what a VR game can do.
Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, the very old franchise. For example, I will speak a bit about Total War, and I think I will speak more of it when I'm doing the podcast with Florian, my other Belgian friend. But Total War is not what it used to be. I have a very hard love-hate relationship with Total War today, and I'm sad to see what the game has become, because I discovered Total War with Total War Warhammer, so I discovered very late. I knew of it beforehand, but this is the first Total War game I played, and I played a bit of Shogun 2, like 10 hours, something like that, and was like, oh my god, there is so much stuff to do. And with Total War Warhammer, it's like, this is the Warhammer world, and yeah, this is it. Fight. There is not much else to do. There is not like family trees and alliance, and uh,
No,
it's
you
it's
just have your
it's
character and that's it.
it's bare bones. They could, it could be so much more. It's Total War Warhammer in that state today. To me, it's not playable without mods. It's not playable.
Nope.
It would be so boring.
Well, there's one thing though, when it comes to games and old fucking franchises, it is the era of Mass Effect 2 was the last time people, or at least the big companies, the big names, made games where they put a lot of effort into it. Ever since, they are reducing things, making less in order to cut corners and thereby reduce the quality. If you want a proper, well-made game these days, you have to go to the indie sphere. Unless you pay full price every goddamn time for Legend of Zelda
Yep.
and the few Nintendo games, because Nintendo are one of the few guys who never really skimp on their first party IPs.
Yes, this is something. This is why I'm a Nintendo guy. Yes, I know it's always Zelda, always Mario, always this, always that. But these games are always good.
Yeah, find
Oh,
me
or at least
one mainline
interesting.
Zelda game. Yeah, find me one mainline Zelda game or any other game made by Nintendo where there's a bad Zelda game. And no, you cannot count the CDI games because they're not made by Nintendo.
It's a nice way to put it, Prime Knight. An ocean with the depth of a teacup. Yes, this is Total War now, and the game is so laggy and buggy. It's chugging. I have not the strongest specs on my computer, but I still have like a 1080 Ti. So it's okay. But the game is it's slow. Oh man, it's so poorly optimized.
Unplayable.
It's playable, but I don't know. It's like you flip a coin every loading to see if the game crash or not.
That's a good one.
Uh,
It's people or the companies are now just never going to make anything good again. And if they try to make something, they make it under the belief that hey, if we chug enough fucking uh politics or current day politics into it, social politics, that has nothing to do with the story or the setting itself, it will automatically sell. I mean,
there is that, but
I don't mind.
there is
Hmm?
also, sorry Trim, there is also the thing with the wider audience, and this
Yeah.
is because in Total War game you cannot play, you cannot go into politics. I mean the game itself, not the company, but yeah, it's a game about Lizard and Skaven and or you know the Three Kingdoms, so there is no today politics, but the game is so bare bones because they try to simplify it, and there is this delete mechanics of the past that was very interesting. For example, the problem with the agents, you know, the heroes like the geisha and stuff that try to assassinate or poison an army and stuff. They 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 try to tackle the problem, and you know, trying to improve the game by deleting mechanics. This is not how you do it.
No, a sequel shouldn't be a reduction. It should be a continuation, more, not
Yeah.
less. And no sequel has done that in the last few years.
Yeah, apparently there is a Prime Night to say the fourth season Zelda.
Huh?
Fourth season Zelda. Apparently he said this, maybe this is not a good Zelda, maybe.
Disagree. But it's a bit
It's a hot topic between Zelda fans.
it's not my favorite, and it's not the favorite a lot, but it's still a good game. It's a finished game. It is made properly. Hell, even the Phantom Hourglass, which is on the lowest tier of any Zelda game, is still made within the maximum of what you can do for the Nintendo DS. Nintendo doesn't skimp when they make a game. Of course, there's things they could have done that they don't do, but you never get an unfinished game from them in the Zelda series.
In Pokemon they try a bit of a sneaky, but it was not like the game was bad, but they made some choice, you know, to milk the franchise a bit with like
Yeah, Game
eh,
Freak
yeah.
is the only. Yeah, Game Freak is the only ones whom I see an issue like that in Nintendo.
But
Other than that, though,
even though they try to milk the license, which is bad, the game is still okay. It's still okay.
oh yeah,
And
it's
yeah,
playable.
the video about Victoria 3, it's yeah, I've watched it. Even though I almost know nothing about Victoria series and Paradox game, I know them, but from far away. And yeah, it's not a good news. I like the bit when he say the bar moves, the bar moves. And speaking about you know, big names and strong license and everything, are you a Warhammer guy, my dear Trim?
Yes and no.
Okay, because for me, yes, I am a very strong Warhammer guy, and Warhammer is not what it was. It definitely is not. This
I like Warhammer before the primaries. There we go. I love Warhammer before the Primaries.
Well, I will say I love Warhammer before the end time, and even before that, it was still not the best. But yeah, for me, the 5 and 6 edition of Warhammer Fantasy, so early 2000, was the best era for Warhammer.
Yeah. I never was much in Warhammer Fantasy though. I've always
Yeah.
been the 40k guy.
But what I'm showing you, chat and viewers, and yeah, I will correct a bit for the window. Sorry, I have to adapt every time I open a new type of window for the visual.
Arcadia.
Yes, so
Now that's something that's aside from War of the Beast, the Fall of Cadia is the thing they botched the most. If we look away from War of the Beast,
even Horus Heresy is not good.
no, fuck no, it's not.
But what I'm showing you is okay. There is so many nice figurines and models and stuff like that, but the game is suffering so much. So I know I'm a bit in the minority there, or at least my voice is not as strong as I would like it to be. But Warhammer, especially Warhammer 40k, is today not the game it used to be. For example, here you see like a heavy weapon squad, command squad and stuff. But most of these things will lose heavily to like an army with 4 knights, or an army with of Tau with one more or less Tau Titan.
Fuck the blueberry commies. We don't like them here.
Yeah, I know, and I'm okay with that. But the thing is, most of these will be wiped out on the table in turn 1.
Yeah.
It's a problem that Warhammer have since many years. Like for example, here you have Angron, a Primarch. Nice. The model, the figurines are always fantastic. I'm okay with that. Even though this is not my favorite style, I'm nitpicking. The model is cool, the sculpture is beautiful. It's okay. The thing is, this figurine on tabletop will be like, I don't know, 600 points, for example. It will kill half your army before you can bring it down. It will maybe even outlast the battle. And so you take Engron and you win the fight because this model is so strong and so overpowered that it will kill everything in its sight. This is before, like maybe 20 years ago, you had an army, you have like, I have 20 Marines, I have 5 Terminators, I have 2 vehicles, I have a scout squadron. You have an actual army. No, you play just the big model that is strong and overpowered, and you have a battle with maybe 10 figurines, 50, 20.
Yeah.
This
It doesn't say it's being dumbed down and reduced for the wider audience, which in itself will never ever pick up your weird, spiky, multicolored shit.
Yeah, and the price also is
Yeah.
oh man.
Overpriced bullshit. And I mean,
check.
it goes for Warhammer, but it also goes for everything else. I mean,
Yeah, but Warhammer is, oh man, it's you have to sell a kidney before you buy anything from Warhammer.
I mean, Warhammer is the worst example. It's a meme at this point, but it kind of deserves it.
Yeah.
Because Games Workshop has never done anything right in terms of respecting its fan base or its customers. And everything good they have done has always been undone by later decisions that just turns it on his ass.
So this is apparently a squad of the Kill Team, and apparently, if I'm not mistaken, Kill Team is like another game or a skirmish game of Warhammer, something like that. So you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 dudes. 10 dudes. 55 euros. Fortunately, if I'm not mistaken again, Kill Team is a game you can play with. You buy this, you're good to go. You can play. It's
Nice.
yeah, hopefully you can play the game with this, but no, the the price of Warhammer is so much. Oh man, it's here. You have 5 possessed dudes. So again, the sculpture, the miniature, nice, very beautiful. Again, not my style, not my favorite kind of figurine, but still, it's okay. So the price for these 5 dudes, 35 euros. And this is not kill team. So this maybe 100, 150 points. I throw a random number. An army of Warhammer 40k is like 1000 or 1500 points. So yeah, you can I think now you can understand the problem.
Yeah. I
So
mean, Arch talks about it well too.
here is a combat patrol, so I think it's like a starter box or something. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10.
It's kind of funny because now we're seeing you having a little bit of a rant and something that pisses you off.
Yeah, yeah. So you have 10. I think this is Corn's Hound or Chaos Hound. I think it's Scorn Hounds because they have color. Freeze, Blood thing. I don't know. Remember Blood Crusher, and 20 Blood Letters. This is like a 500 points army for 120 rows. This is the best deal you can get for, miniature number of miniature number of figurines for the price. And this is almost like nothing. Almost like nothing. You have one knight or one, I don't know, super squad of Elda or something. Your whole army is wiped out in one turn.
Yep.
So you spend so much money for like nothing. The only thing that is not stained by Game Workshop and the choice of games and rules and everything is the painting and creating your own figurines. The modeling side of things. This is still okay, but yeah, it's so sorry, it's it's my
It is
time
very understandable.
my
It is
time
very
my time
understandable.
to rent. My time to rent, and I hate that from Game Workshop. I hate that. Yeah, for example, this is what a perfect example. This is like a strong vehicle or some sort of Chaos Space Marine, I think. So this dude, 130 euros for one figurine. Okay, it's a big boy, it's cool, but still, this is
Hey,
one
was that
big boy.
Failbadon the Harmless?
Yeah, Abaddon.
Hey!
For Abaddon, 55 euros. Okay, the
Something tells
miniature
me
is
that the
nice and
figurine
all,
is
but
much smaller.
yeah. And they do this stuff now with a piece of decor, 50 euros. I don't know what it's used for. Like, is it a special terrain that have rules or something? Because sometimes you can have army who have a terrain, but the terrain give them advantage or something.
I
But
think that I think it's an edgier Stargate.
yes, this is.
Yeah, you go through that gate, you get to meet the Goa'uld, but with spikes.
So yeah, sorry chat. This was my time to. This was my time to go on a run, but yeah, I spent so much time and money in Warhammer. Like I paid, I don't know. I had like 10 armies back in the days. I lost everything, but it's another topic. What I'm trying to say is I know what I'm talking about, and back in the days, the price you can get an army for like a fifth of the price. It's crazy to see, and even back then the price was kind of expensive, but it was okay. Like you had a box of 20 figurines for like 20 euros. Expensive, but it's okay. It's like 1 euros per miniature. Oh, okay. Okay. No, it's not that anymore. The most expensive thing you could get back in the days was like a Land Raider or Monolith or something like that, and it was like 50 euros. This was the most expensive thing you could get back in the day.
Yeah. It looks like a Cenobite gate. Or a
Yeah.
teenager's attempt of making a Stargate. It's cooler because it gets spikes.
This is a perfect example of the price craziness of Game Workshop. So this is a basic Rhino. So this is a transport. So
No, it is a chaos rhino
yeah,
because it's
yeah,
got
yeah.
spikes.
The goal of this thing is to say my units are in this, and this is the transport. My goal is to get them to this point faster. And this is nothing. This is like, how to say that? This has no use in the tabletop except to make your unit go faster to set direction you want them to go. The price
Yep.
for this thing is 40 euros. The price point in the game for Rhino is something like maybe 50 points.
Jesus.
It's I have no words. I
Yeah, I'm
understand.
not touching. I am not touching this game at
Yeah.
all. I mean, I'm playing the digital games like I have Dark Tide because Toste was a good boy and he gave it to me. So I'm gonna play that game when it comes out because it looks actually good. And I'm hoping, crossing my fingers and praying to the God Emperor that Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2 will be good. Because
Uh,
I really want to be a Space Marine killing Tyranids and live out my Starship Troopers fantasies.
it won't be. It won't be.
I know, but let me have hope. I know you Belgians don't like giving people hope, but come on.
And yet, also, as I see people speaking about Dark Tide, I don't have
I'm
hopes
afraid of having
also.
hope.
It's not
I'm
that
afraid of
it's
having hope.
the thing is with Vermintide and Darktide, the game are nice, but it's so grindy. You do the same thing over and over and over and over again. The same map, the same. Man,
But there are different maps though. I mean,
yeah,
I played Vermintide too, and it's a lot of it's a lot of variation. Sure, you do the same thing every time,
yeah,
but
but
isn't that pretty
the
much every game?
you should play the first Vermintide. It was, to me, much better than the second one because the map are shorter, so you spend less time in a map. You spend like 1 hour to do a run and you fail at the last meter, for example. Don't tell me this does not happen. And yeah, the map are so lengthy, so grindy. The hub is so big and there is nothing to do in it. I don't understand the choice they made. I don't
I
understand.
like it because it's kind of Left 4 Dead-y. I really like Left 4 Dead.
The principle, yeah, I know, but yeah, and yes, of course, I've seen Astartes and any other fan film they made. My favorite was the Death of Hope. Was Death of Hope is mwah! Maybe I will find it. Let me check. But I think that Game Workshop butchered when they bought so many fan film because that's another topic.
Again, Games Workshop, every time they do something, they do it horribly wrong. Of course, here's one thing though I really like is
I found it.
While Games Workshop did this horrible abomination, the another notorious retard company who is infected by the brain rot looked at that and thought, wait, there's something here. There's a hint. Of course, there's a giant neon sign flashing in front of them. It's like, I think we can use this. So they made a project, or it's like told every fan creator, if you want to make stuff out of our stuff, here you go. Just make sure it's within these small rules and go bonkers. So it ended up with the one of the most popular Warhammer 40K fan channels ended up completely
The
converting into Vampire the Masquerade.
what
Hunter the Parenting, and it's fucking hilarious.
you're speaking about TTS, text to speech device.
Yes.
Yeah,
Brother Alpha Busa.
yeah, yep. I'm trying
Yeah.
to
But
find another thing in Game Workshop site, but the site is so bad also.
I
Yeah,
mean, it's Game Workshop, it's always bad.
yeah. So here in picture I have a piece of terrain. And tell me the number, the price point, Trim.
That is 60 pounds?
Euros.
Euros.
For
I can't
this.
tell, it's too small on my screen.
For this.
60 euros for those things. What are
Yes.
those things?
These are piece of terrain, so to speak, when you do a special spell that stay on the table. So you have to put a marker or something. So this is it for 60 euros. I think
That's
it's
it for 60
ridiculous.
euros.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's you either get single Abaddon the spoiler or Failbadon the harmless,
yeah.
or bunch of magic sprites.
Yes.
Great. Good use of money.
Yes.
10 out of 10. That looks like you should have just been able to buy for like 15.
Yes. But I have no words. That's Game Workshop for you. Ah, yes. Let me find you something.
There's
So,
a strange obsession with tentacles.
this is a figurine. Let me have that in 360. And after that, we are going to close the stream. I hope that everyone is seeing this. I have to turn a bit.
Is that a skeleton?
No, it's a Atlantis elf,
Oh,
like a water elf. So
okay.
this figurine, the perspective is not great, but the thing is, it's like an Aquaman, so to speak. So this is the guy with a trident, with a crest, and like a staff or something. And on the ground there is like a bit of decor, like a fish, a coral, and you know, a bit of things to say. Oh, this look nice. And he has like a robe or a cape made of water, so to speak. And there is like, you know, a bit of a manta ray, some fish. You know, it doesn't look that bad if you are into the water elf thing, you know. Now guess the price for this only model.
120 euros. That's my guess.
Close. This is the number.
Oh, wow. I was never expected to be positively surprised. But still, extremely stupidly expensive is still extremely stupidly
This
expensive.
is again for one figurine. One. And even if it's big, it's not, you know, like the big truck corn red thing that I showed earlier for 130. No. This is one regular dude.
Huh. So
just
what is he? Is he like similar to a Sigmar Marine?
no, he's just a sea elf.
Oh,
A strong sea elf. I don't know the rules, I don't know the law of the things, but yeah, this is a sea elf.
yeah,
That's
but
it.
elves don't matter in Warhammer. There's a spike here. Oh, we're better than you.
Yeah.
Dicks.
And yeah, this is it. For another example, this is one, you know, like a seahorse thing. Yeah, 33 euros. Right, 32.50. The price range are ridiculous. Ridiculous. Because you can go to any other company that does figurine and model and stuff. They are cheaper than Games Workshop.
I'm gonna say this: 3D printing.
Yes. And this is why Game Workshop will fail one day. When the Sims
They're already failing.
because the thing is, they have very hardcore Sims that support them no matter what. And yeah, I don't understand, but still. And yeah, they have like a piggy bank on legs. And but yeah, one day they will fail. One day they will not be able to rely on these whales anymore.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I hope so also, because I'm all, you know, for paying the artist and everything, and Again, another unit, you know, like like 11 dudes. Okay, no, 10, sorry, 10 dudes. 32.50 euros. It's expensive as fuck. And I understand, again, you have to pay the artist, you have to pay the sculptor, the painter, the printing of the figurines, the mold, and all of the parts, and I understand, but still, it's expensive as fuck. I mean, at this price, I prefer to pay for a gun.
Yeah. I think you could buy a pretty decent gun for that too.
I
At least one that
think
can shoot straight.
so. Yeah, this is the closing argument of this particular topic of the death of the strong franchise, because back in the day when you looked at Warhammer, you look at Blizzard, you look at Half-Life, to get back
Oh
to the
man, don't remind me about Blizzard.
yeah, these dudes were the big boys, you know, the star, they had all the bitches. I mean,
I mean, you remember the time when people talked about Blizzard with reverence? I remember those days.
yeah,
Those were fantastic days. And of course, then they started just turning their ass towards you and start shitting in your face. Some people like it, but I don't. And now I'm being called the bad person for not liking it. So, you know, kink shaming is the thing, I guess, or kink whatever fuck. If.
yep. So,
I dislike it.
I don't have any more topic for us today, and we are almost at 2 hours and a half. So I think
Yay!
we will leave at that. And do you have a few closing words for us, Trim?
Well, actually, if I may be so bold, I have a thing called a YouTube channel where I do time lapses of my mediocre drawings.
Ah, yeah,
If you're interested in seeing it, then hello, drop by. I'm gonna yeet the link in the
yeah,
description of this
yeah,
in the thingy, the chat thingy. Yes,
the thingy.
there I am. Yes,
and
my communication skills are fabulous.
and yes, Mr. Bier, this was the Belgian price, so the euros, and yeah, the price you have at the Game Workshop store.
And also, there's a secondary thing. On Saturday, we're gonna have a Halloween drunk stream. We were supposed to have it on Monday,
Ah,
but then again,
this is this Saturday.
yes,
I will try to join you.
yeah, yeah. You're formally invited in the public square to join the Sultans on drunken merriment, cursing out, and failing horribly at
Yeah,
games.
I need to prepare myself and buy some stuff to drink then.
I don't need to buy shit. I still got several bottles of homemade beer.
I don't have anything anymore, so yeah. I will need to buy stuff, but yeah, I can get a few things.
And this is why you should support Chris by donating on his Kickstarter or just donating to the good boy, because he's making good things and we need to see good things like this.
Yeah, I'll remind you about the Kickstarter. So you join the link I'm gonna give you in the chat. you click on the thingy, and then you click on the notify, or in French, me prévenir du lancement. And yeah, so Kickstarter would be happy, and myself will be happy, and maybe Kickstarter himself will try to promote me. So yeah, click on the thingy, the green thingy.
Click on it, folks. Click on the thingy. You know you want to.
Because I need money to make the thing.
Yes. And then when he gets money for that thing, he can start getting more money so he can actually translate his books.
Yes, because translation is hell of expensive. So, in any
Unless
case...
there's someone here who speaks English and French and wants his part-time gig.
Yes. So, in any case, I thank everything in chat to... everything and everyone in chat to have come by. It's nice to see that there is some regular folks like Arden Paddy, Mr. Bier, and other people like
Wait, what?
Bezek.
Your favorites are Winx Club and My Little Pony?
No, this is not. No, my favorite anime is Berserk, The Golden Age,
Oh yeah.
and
Specifically the Golden Age.
we will do something about Berserk in the near future. So keep posted, stay posted. Anyways, goodbye to you, chat. Thank Trim for coming by again. It's a pleasure as always, and take care,
Pleasure being here.
internet.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye. Mwah.